It's hot out. The water's getting really warm already. And the bass are getting finicky. So in this video, hopefully this video will help you catch some fish during the summer. But in this video, top 5 summer lures. So we're going to get started, and I'm going to put this as like a pond edition. I will have a second part to this video. Well, kind of not this video, but kind of like another part. I'll do top 5 summer lures for rivers. So we'll stick to the ponds for this video, but for my next video, we'll move on to the rivers. So let's get started. So the number one bait for ponds in the summer, you know, ponds in the summer get really, they get a lot of vegetation, a lot of grass and weeds, and that's a perfect time to throw a frog, a little topwater frog, covering some water over that grass and that moss. You know, just go out early in the morning, chuck this around, go parallel with the bank, throw it under trees and shaded areas, and you'll see those bass really blow up on the frog, because they can't actually see the frog on the lily pads, but they can, if they're right underneath it, they can really actually see this frog in its shadow. So it's really cool. You'll get those nice blow ups, and just chuck it around, you'll catch some nice fish. And even if you if you like frogs, real frogs are actually cannibals, and that means they eat their own kind. So, and real frogs are around a lot of ponds during summer. So if chucking this around, you might catch a real frog on these. So just chuck it around. You might hopefully catch some fish too. For colors, just go with like the browns and the greens. You know, there are some whites and some blacks, but mainly you can just use the browns and the greens. Kind of like a natural frog color. As you see, I got 3 different types of frogs here. I got a Booyah Pad Crusher. This is a pretty normal frog. See, for the legs, it got kind of whiskers. And just a standard frog. And then we got the same thing, but then it's a Poppin' Frog by Spro. That'll really splash the water. That'll be some for more of those aggressive bass. And then something, this is actually from Lunker Hunt. It's a little more realistic. This frog actually has legs. And when it's really hard and you can't catch any fish on those frogs, I'd reach for this because it's a lot more realistic. And when you jerk that frog, these legs will actually kick. And it looks a lot more realistic than a frog with little whiskers. So the frog was the first bait. Now the second bait, if you're a guy and you get lucky during the summer and you fish a pond that doesn't have very much vegetation and you can throw around a moving bait, reach for that Rattle Trap type bait. This bait was in my top 5 spring lures because of the cold water. And now it's in my top 5 summer baits because of the warm water. You know, cold water, fish are real finicky, and they're still real finicky in really hot water. So, something with a tight wobble. You know, it's not too erratic. It's just something with a real tight wobble. And that'll really key in the fish. Just because it looks a little more, what's the word? Lifelike, I guess you kind of say. It's not too erratic, not too much movement. You know, the frogs have a lot of movement, but that's when the water's the coolest. And in the morning, you could check this around in the morning too, no problem. For the colors, just kind of like a bluegill pattern or like a shad pattern. See, I got like a shad pattern here. I got silver. This is a silver body with like a blue back. Good to imitate shad and like some blue herring. And then like a gold or a silver. So that sun can shine off the bait and reflect into the water and really get that fish attention. So, and that fish will come up and grab it. So that's bait number 2. Bait number 3. Like I'm gonna say it again. If you're a guy that has a pond with not too much vegetation in the summer, reach for that spinnerbait, because this spinnerbait is a great imitation for schools of shad. Now we got some pretty big spinnerbaits here. If you have big bass, big fish in that pond, you can fish with these. But mainly, if you have a pond, if you're fishing a pond, I'll reach for that smaller spinnerbait, like this one right here. You see, now I'm gonna tell you something real quick. When fishing a spinnerbait, it imitates a group of shad because this blade right here, that's a shad. This blade right here, that's a shad. And then like this skirt is a shad. And then even on this spinnerbait, I added a like a little swim bait, and that'll add like another shad imitation. And it's really good because shad group up real nice and tight, and bass eat live bait in the summer, of course, all year round. And it's really shad are really uptight, and bass go for them, and easy meal. So just with throwing these spinnerbaits around, you can really imitate those group shad. So that's bait number 3. Now bait number 4. Now you can't fish. Now in the summer, you always gotta fish soft plastic, of course. So I'm just gonna put this category kind of just soft plastics, or not soft plastic, like soft plastic craws. So we got 2 type of craws here: the rodent, the pit boss. I'm just chucking this around, put it on a Texas rig or a weightless rig. Just dragging it across the bottom during midday or early in the morning. And it'll really imitate those craw, really very lifelike. And crawfish are usually a very easy meal for a bass, so if you're fishing it nice and slow, looking realistic, you'll catch it. So pretty simple for those, just on a nice Texas rig, or even like a weightless rig, like a weightless Texas rig. So you can use those, just kind of any type of craw. So that's bait number 4. And then bait number 5, our final bait, is, I'm gonna just put this, I put that last quarter into some craws. I'm just gonna put this category into just soft plastic worms, because we have different types of worms. Now we have big U-tail worms from Zoom, we have finesse worms from Mans, and we have Senkos. You know, mainly I fish with the Senko, but at times the finesse worm really shines, and at times big worms really shine. Big worms are really good for big bass in the summer, because, like, again, I Texas rig these worms anyways. Now this is the U-tail, and it's a big worm. I'd say this is probably about right around a 6-inch worm. It's a really big worm, and fishing that slow on the bottom, just like that craw, you'll auto catch a fish, because imitate like a salamander or something. And really chuck these big worms and other salamanders. I don't have any with me right now, but like salamanders and worms, throw them across the bed when they're spawning, because it imitates those salamanders eating those eggs, and the bass go crazy. Now we got some finesse worms. You can use these wacky rig, Nico rig, just kind of like the Senko. Fish it real slow and get fish. So we're going to talk about the Senko real quick. Gary Yamamoto Senko. Just wacky rig these, Texas rig these. There's really no wrong way to fish a Senko. And they're very effective. And why is this such a good bait? I mean, it looks like nothing. Comment down below if you want a video of me talking about why this Senko is such a good bait. But you can wacky rig these, Texas rig them. Again, fish it real slow, easy meal. And that's really the key behind soft plastics. Fish them real slow, fish them on the bottom, midday, you ought to catch a fish. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I made it real quick. I didn't fall off my roof, so that's a good thing. So like I said, there will be like a second part to this video. And so we're going to talk about river baits. These were pond baits. Now there are guys that fish for rivers, so we're going to do a river one. So stay tuned for that video coming up. And thanks for watching. Like and subscribe for more videos. And as always, keep calm and fish. Thanks for watching. Hope you get through this tough summer, the hot summer and hot water. Hope you catch a lot of fish. Thanks for watching. And yeah, like and subscribe, and thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next video. Thanks.